Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a Colourpop collection to share with you. We're going to be doing a try on and reviewing this new collection, and it's not the one that I was thinking I was getting today. It's actually something else that was kind of a fun surprise. So they actually have a new kind of Enchanted collection, I think it's called. That's going to be at Ulta this coming Sunday is usually when Ulta has their new releases, so I believe that's when this will be available. I was expecting this to be the chocolate collection. I don't know what's been going on with Colourpop, but I didn't get their last two collections now, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but I know a lot of you guys have asked for reviews, and I tried to get the reviews up if I do receive the PRs. So even though this was not what I had planned today, I did still want to go ahead and share this collection for you guys. I do think this is an Ulta exclusive one. I'm not 100% sure on that. There's really not a whole lot of information on this yet since Colourpop hasn't sneak peeked this themselves. Pretty much only Trend Mood has. So usually they won't do two new launches in 1 week like they did this week. I think it's just because this is for Ulta. That is why we're seeing two collections this week. So let's go ahead and get into it. There is actually two eyeshadow palettes in this collection. There's one more colorful and one more neutral. So this here is the Enchanted palette, and this one, a lot of people were saying it reminds them of Taylor Swift since she does have the song Enchanted, and it kind of just gives that vibe with the purple. It looks like her Speak Now album. So at first I was like, oh, maybe this is like kind of like a secret Taylor Swift theme going on, because I know she has her Midnights releasing I think tomorrow. I'm not sure if that's like a new album with new stuff or what it is. I'm not up to date on her stuff lately, but I am a pretty big fan of her. So that's kind of what it reminded me of too. It is this kind of purple color scheme. So they're kind of going for this whole like enchanted fairy kind of vibe with the purples. This is like the fairy tones here. So there's that. There is a mixture of mattes and shimmers, and it did feel to be one pressed glitter in this palette too. And then we have the more neutral palette, and this one actually does look gorgeous. This is the Fairy Well palette, and it's kind of like a smoky neutrals palette, and this one does have two pressed glitters in it, which is surprising because I haven't seen the pressed glitters in Colourpop palettes for a minute, and I know not a lot of people are a huge fan of them, so I was really surprised that they went that route, or maybe they just needed to spice it up with something different to add a little glam to the look. According to Trend Mood, those palettes are going to be $18 each. They did send over the 4 color sticks in the collection, which these are like little eyeshadow crayons, or I sometimes use them for eyeliner. We have the shade Butterfly Away, which is a really kind of fun, almost cool toned champagne. This one here is called Spring Picnic. I'm assuming that these might be existing shades since it does say spring in the name. It's not usually something you'd include in a collection that comes out in the fall. That one's definitely more of a true champagne. Next we have Fairy Dust, which is a burgundy, so that actually does match with the collection. And we have Cutest Ever, which is kind of a more darker brown. So those are the color sticks we have. They did send me the 3 cheek dews in the collection. These will be $8 as well. This is like their liquid blush. This first one is called Peas Blossom, and that's what that one looks like. Blended on the cheeks, it'll be a lot lighter than that though. So there's the first one. We have this fun kind of lavender one called Natural World. Here is what that one looks like, a little bit more blended out. That is like bright pink, pinky purple. And then there's this lighter pink called Fairy Kingdom, which is like a bubblegum pink. And those are the 3 blushes. That one is so similar to the purple one, like really not a whole lot of difference there. I think the pink one might just be a smidge lighter. And then we have 3 So Glassy lip glosses in the collection that has like this little sparkle top on them. So the first one that we have, this one is Love Spell, and these are pretty much gonna look the same swatch, just FYI. This one does have some sparkle to it. But that is the bottle. And we have kind of this melon color. It's not as sparkly. It's called, this is called Just Fly. And then we have this more creamy color. It's like a creamsicle orange. This is Midair. Here is the 3 lip glosses. So according to this thing, there's also a Jelly Much eyeshadow, which I did not receive. I don't know if that was a mistake. I saw that Trend Mood got it, so if you guys want to see a swatch of that, it should be on her Instagram. But yeah, they have one Jelly Much shadow that's supposed to be a swipe of soft lavender and warm champagne. So maybe there's two, I don't know, maybe there's two shades, but I wish I got those because I love the jelly shadows. But anyways, that is a look at the swatches here and a glimpse at this new collection. I am going to do a look with each of the palettes today. I'm going to try out one of the blushes and one of the glosses just because it's been a long day, so I feel like I'm a little out of it in today's video. But let's go ahead and get into the looks. Okay guys, so we're gonna go ahead and start with the Enchanted palette, which is the fun kind of purple palette here. And I'm gonna zoom you guys in and we'll go ahead and do an eye look with this. So using my Sephora 24 brush, I'm gonna dip into this shade. This one, I'll have to kind of try to read these. They're like a weird like cursive, so they're kind of hard to read. It says Got Wings, and we'll place this into the crease. This is a really pretty kind of dusty rose. Next, we'll switch over to my BK Beauty 202 brush, and I'm going to take the dark purple in the palette. This one is called New Realm. This shade is a lot lighter going on than I thought it would be, and it's a little dusty. I thought it would be just a little bit more pigmented. It's having a little bit of blending issues as well. It's just getting a little patchy. Not the easiest shade to work with, but we'll kind of cover it up with some shimmer here. So I'm gonna take the Toad shade right here on my finger. I always use my finger with the Colourpop shimmers, and I'm gonna place this towards the outer half of the eye. Now this one is definitely really pretty. Next, I'm gonna go into this purple. I had my eye on this since I first saw this palette. This is the Shapeshifter. This one's a little bit glittery or chunky. Let's see how this translates on the eye though. Yeah, it's a little chunky. I'm taking a little bit of the Magic Maker. I actually like this color more, and kind of putting that in the inner corner as well. This one is more of a powder. I think I just picked like the worst colors in the palette to use, but this is a really pretty shimmer. It really brightens things up here. I am going to go into this shade. This is called Fairy Core, and I'm placing this along the lower lash line here. And we'll just bring in a tiny bit of the dark purple that we used, the New Realm, along there as well. I like to use the Colourpop Colourstix as eyeliner, so I'm taking Cutest Ever on my lower lash line. I am going to clean up with some concealer and we'll add mascara. I'm just going to show you guys a close-up of the eyes since I am going to do another look, and then we'll do like the full face. But here is the purple look. It's not my favorite. I've definitely done a lot better purple looks, even using Colourpop shadows. I'm not sure what was up with that dark purple shade we used, and also that weird chunky purple that we used, the lavender color in the inner corner. Not my favorite. So I'm hoping that the other palette is gonna redeem itself, and hopefully that one will be better. It is more neutrals, so let's get into that. Alright guys, let's try out the Fairy Well palette. This one's a little bit more neutral. So using a Sephora 27 brush, I am going to take, let's do the shade Flower Crown in the crease. A nice kind of cool tone, medium brown. Next, we're going to take this darker brown. This one's a little bit more warm. It's called Folklore. This one's going to take a little bit more building as well, I can see. It's just on the lighter side, but it seems to be blending okay. I'm going to do those same colors on my lower lash line too. Next, I'm going to go into this shimmer. This one is called Willow on my lid. It's like a really pretty smoky bronze. And we're just going to kind of blend those edges out a bit. And I guess we will go in with the pressed glitters to kind of see how those look on. So we'll take this kind of more bronze one. Does it say Fawn Guy? Fawn Guy? I don't know. I guess it's Fawn Guy. Like fungi maybe? I don't know. Okay, so we're going to place this on the lid with their pressed glitters. I don't know. They always say not to use them around the eye area for, what is it, the FDA or whatever. It says not to do that. But I never have a problem. It does add a really pretty sparkle to the eyes, like if you want that extra glam look. And their glitters are nice because they do stick. They have almost a slightly tackiness to them underneath, so you can just press them on, which is nice. They're really easy to apply. But yeah, it does give that extra sparkle, which sometimes can be fun for like the holiday season, but I know a lot of people don't love the pressed glitters. This one applies a lot better to me than the one in the purple palette for some reason. And I will also take a little bit of this color here, lighter pearl tone called Pixie Perf, and just apply that also in the inner corner to brighten that up. Alright, concealer and mascara again. I'm going to apply the rest of my makeup, including bronzer, blush, all the above, and then I'll go ahead and try out one of the lip glosses. So when I do these videos, I always film the like try on portion first, and I don't really do the products until after. I didn't realize there is cheek dews, like blushes, in this collection, and I already started putting on blush, but I kind of tried to cover it up a bit so that we could use this. I've tried these before. It's been a while. They've had them. It's like their liquid blush. I'm gonna apply a little bit on my BK Beauty 107 brush and just lightly apply this on the cheeks. These are pretty light, so even though this color looks dark, it's not going to be that crazy. This is the Peas Blossom, but it's one of my favorite cream blush formulas from Colourpop. I think they're really nice, and I do like this color a lot. It's a really cute, like, pink. And then there's only a couple lip glosses in the collection, and they're both really light neutral tones, so we're going to use some lip liner. I want something a little bit more pink, so I'm going to use the Kokie Natural. And then we'll do the So Glassy Just Fly lip gloss on top. And that is going to finish up this look. Put together, it honestly all looks really nice on. Definitely an improvement, I think, from the other palette, but let's get into my final thoughts. Alright guys, so here is my thoughts on this collection. Let me just say, I feel like for some reason, the collections they do for Ulta, they don't seem as good quality. And I'm not talking about like the collabs that come to Ulta eventually. I'm talking about the ones that release first on Ulta and they're made for Ulta. They just don't seem as good as the normal Colourpop palettes. Let me know if you guys have noticed that as well. So testing the palettes, the Enchanted palette, this one was pretty disappointing to me. I just don't feel like it's as vibrant on the eyes as it looks in here. I was so excited to get this and try it on. Gorgeous purples in here. They swatched pretty nice, but then, I don't know, on the eyes it just did not translate that way. And maybe I just used the wrong shades, but this darker purple is just not the greatest pigment. And then finding out that this was more of like a pressed glitter, there's just something about some of these shades that just doesn't seem right. It's not really a glitter either. It's just like chunky. It's not like the pressed glitter formula. Something is weird there. But some of the other shimmers were nice and soft and really pretty, but they weren't as like super vibrant as some of their like super shock shadows that they put in some of their formulas in their palettes. I just wasn't very impressed with this one. I don't think it's bad, but I definitely think there's better ones. If you want a nice purple palette, if this one is still available, the All Amethyst is a really nice one from Colourpop. I feel like this one's a bit more vibrant. This was also an Ulta exclusive, I believe, but I think the quality is better than this, and I would rather go for this over this new Enchanted palette. This one I got even more like better pigmented, gorgeous looks, no weird chunky glitter shades going on. So I would go for the All Amethyst instead for a purple palette. Sometimes you can catch this one on clearance if they have it. This is really beautiful. The formula is 10 out of 10 on the So Very Lovely. It's not quite as many purples, but I feel like you can basically get the same looks using this. They seem very similar to me, and the looks will definitely be duped. This is a gorgeous formula, so I would definitely look for the So Very Lovely palette over this Enchanted one. Now, I thought that the Fairy Well palette was a little bit better, not by much though. I just feel like sometimes Colourpop struggles with their purple formulas, but they're pretty good at neutrals. This was okay. I mean, the pressed glitters don't bother me so much. I feel like they do add a little extra to the eyes to give you that glimmer, but sometimes I just prefer a really metallic powder shadow instead of the glitter formula. But I don't really have issues with these like falling into the eyes or anything like that. I've never had any irritation with pressed glitters. So yeah, this one, it was nice, but I think there is some definitely better ones out there that you could try instead. For instance, it's really similar to the Going Coconuts and the That's Taupe palette from Colourpop. So here's Going Coconuts. This is just a classic, really good neutral palette that they've had in their collection for a long time, and it seriously performs really well. As well as That's Taupe. This is a little bit more smokier, but oh my gosh, gorgeous formula. No pressed glitters in either of those. And I also grabbed the Twist of Slate palette here. This is a lot more gray, but this is a really good formula too from Colourpop. It even has a bonus cream shadow. I'm so curious to see how that new chocolate palette is going to be. I couldn't tell if there was pressed glitters in that one, but yeah, I guess we're not going to be reviewing that one. Now, I did want to go ahead and talk about the other stuff in the collection. Of course, we have the Cheek Dew Serum Blushes. I actually do like these. I would probably go for this Peas Blossom. It's such a weird name to me. Maybe that's an actual flower name. I have no idea, but these are a nice formula if you guys want something a little bit more natural. I never have issues with them. I like this color a lot, and it's a little bit more wearable than some of the purpley ones that we got. I always say this, but I don't really use the COLOURSTIX ever. I just rather go for their regular eyeliners. They're just not my thing. And then as far as the glosses go, I have so many glosses from Colourpop, but I actually really like the one that we did use today. I feel like it looks really good with this Kokie lip liner. It's like the perfect pinky nude lip combo. So that's kind of my thoughts here on this collection. It's kind of a fail for me. I'm not really that excited about it, which it happens from time to time. I feel like lately I've been really impressed with the Colourpop palettes. I really haven't had a whole lot of negative things to say about them, but then I don't know, this collection is definitely just not doing it for me. What do you guys think down below? Definitely check out some of those other palettes I suggested if you like these color stories. Let me know if you are going to be picking this up when it comes to Ulta. Maybe you want to check it out in stores. I'm sure it's going to be in stores as well as online on Sunday. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.